This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cattles.
This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cattles, brought to you by our friends at Athletic Greens, 75 high-quality vitamins to help you start your day right. We have a lot to talk about, my man. Let's first start with Mac Jones. He was named the starter for this weekend's game against the Jets, but Bill Belichick in this announcement wasn't very definitive, Greg, as far as moving forward with Mac.
No, he wasn't, Nick, and I was afraid of this. I wrote a column last night based off all the reporting, and one of the things I said was it'll be interesting to see how definitive Bill is on Thursday, if he acknowledges it all, because, you know, I think we all remember when he was definitive about Cam Newton in 2020, despite him not playing well at all. Perhaps they didn't think Jarrett Stidham was much of an option, and that's the truth from what I understand. Obviously, Bailey Zappe has shown, that he can play winning football, that he can put up points in the National Football League, regardless of sort of the opponent and the situation. Nick, I quite frankly, I don't know where this leaves us. I think, look, let's look at the whole landscape from the ridiculous injury report that, okay, so he couldn't play more than 3 series. They were worried about his health on Monday night. 48 hours later, now he's fully healthy. He's clean. He's not even on the injury report. It's a miracle. Hallelujah. Someone has touched Mac Jones's ankle and he is healed. It is a miracle. And then you put together leaked to Field Yates, great reporter, plugged in with the Belichick's, obviously. He's rock solid on his Patriots stuff. And then Bill today, basically said, that's where we are for the Jets game. Look, I think all options are still on the table. I don't think he's done anything to quell this controversy. Do I think that Bailey Zappe is going to come in against the Jets? No. I think they will at least give him this game, but I think after that, I think this is test week for Mac Jones. I think they took him off the injury report to basically say, I don't want to hear crap about your ankle. We're not giving you your ankle as an excuse. If you go out and throw 4 interceptions and we lose to the Jets and our season is basically over, that's on you. And so I think they're putting Mac in a corner. It might be the best thing for him. Sometimes coaches do that. Sometimes coaches say, you know what? I'm gonna put a ton of pressure on this kid and see how he does, because I think he's going to come through it, and I think he's going to be better than ever. That could be part of it. Part of it could be if there is a Zappe faction within his coaches that think that he's the guy to operate the Matt Patricia offense going forward, that he is leaving that open, that could happen after this week. So I don't think anything's changed. I think we're in the same place. Do I think that Mac's going to get a full game? Yes. After that, I think all bets are off.
It's just ridiculous. It is completely ridiculous to me what's going on with this football team and this quarterback situation. It didn't make any sense to me on Monday night, and I actually tweeted the same thing or close to the same thing that you tweeted about an hour before you did, about the, Monday night, he can't play more than a few series. He can't give you a complete game, but then 2 days later, he's off the injury report. Miracles do happen, apparently, at Foxborough. I didn't get the plan. If the plan was, hey, we're going to rotate quarterbacks and we'll start, Mac because he can get treatment before the game, and then maybe we'll have Mac start the second half because he can get treatment at halftime. I don't know what the plan was, but it invited disaster. It welcomed a controversy. It stoked the flames of Zappe fever, where, some of the Patriots fans out there, and I'm sure a number of them were all liquored up and lubed up on Monday night, chanting for Zappe 30 seconds into the game, which was just a complete joke. It's you go back, Greg, to the very beginning of this entire scenario of the offseason and the fact that they set Mac Jones up to fail. We said it at the time. It still feels that way with the offensive staff, with the offensive line, with the new offense or the tweaks to the offense. And all of a sudden we're going to throw a lot of vertical passes, which, yes, Mac did in college at Alabama, but we all saw what Mac did well last year. And they just have not supported this guy with scheme and coaching. I think they've improved the weapons, which is nice, but it's not enough. And if there's one thing you can't screw up in the NFL, it is a young franchise quarterback. That is the most pivotal, most important thing that you need to get right as a coach and as a front office. You need to pick the right guy, but then you also have to develop him the right way. And it just feels like the Patriots have not done that since the end of last year. And on top of it, for people wanting Bailey Zappe, look, I'll leave Zappe out of the equation for a minute and just focus on the Mac Jones thing. Then you're saying that you used the 15th pick a couple of years ago on a guy that was not worth the 15th pick. So there is really no good scenario. You either pick the wrong guy in the first round, or you have totally screwed this guy up in the last several months to the point where now you don't know if he's the guy. It is a mess, and it's the one thing you can't mess up. And it just feels like, I've given Belichick the benefit of the doubt for a long time because he's deserved it. And I said when I used to do radio on EEI that I would give him, 2 years to get back to the playoffs. He got back last year. And we said in the offseason, Greg, that, this season was about taking that next step. I don't know how anybody can watch this football team and see what happened on Monday night and see the handling of Mac Jones and feel like, at least up to this point through 7 weeks, that you've taken a step forward.
I completely agree with you. And that was my thought watching the whole thing go down on Monday. That was my column off of the game, which was basically like, are the Patriots coaches going to look in the mirror and realize what they've done to Mac Jones? I mean, we talked about it in the middle of the summer. We talked throughout the summer that what we saw on the field, the worry was, and I didn't say it was going to happen. Who knows? Things change over time. I figured by the midpoint of the season, Bill Belichick would have grabbed more hold of the offense, which I think he largely did. And I thought they would tailor things a little bit more towards what Mac Jones is good at. I don't care what he did at Alabama. People say this all the time. I mean, first of all, he's not playing Vanderbilt, for crying out loud, like with first round picks all around him. It's the NFL. The Patriots aren't that talented compared to other teams. And who cares what you do in college? Like, it's about winning the games in the National Football League. And you say, all right, well, as a coach, you say this player needs to play this way for this team for us to win games. We talked about it in the summer that the fear was the Patriots were running down a path of going straight out of the playbook of how to ruin your young quarterback in 3 easy steps. Change the coaches, change the playbooks, screw with his protection. And he's had terrible protection in all 4 games now that he started. Even on Monday night, he was pressured on 50% of the throws. He got absolutely belted when he just missed on that Tyquan Thornton pass. And things have not gotten better. I mean, we're talking about a quarterback. I don't care. These people who for the last 9 games, look, he was a rookie quarterback last year. The schedule got really hard, and I don't want to hear about records. I am not a QB record guy. If you didn't notice, the Patriots defense sucked at the end of last year. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. All they needed was a stop against Indy, and they might have won that game. Yeah, did Mac throw 2 interceptions in that game? Yeah, go back and look at Tom Brady. He's thrown 4 interceptions in games before. It happens, but it matters, can you come back and win? They had an opportunity in Indy, couldn't get a stop. The Saints, they couldn't get a stop. Over and over again, there were examples where they couldn't stop. Forget the Buffalo game. The games, they never had a chance. But, stop looking at the minutia. Stop trying to excuse the coaching and Belichick and look at the facts. He had a good rookie season. You figured he'd build off of that. We're talking about Bill Belichick saying before training camp even started about Mac Jones, I think there's a dramatic improvement. And he went on and on. He said, I think everyone recognizes how well he prepares and how much further along he is than he was a year ago. That should have told you that Mac Jones, that was the baseline. So what? He made an appearance in the Pro Bowl. I don't think anybody here, me and you, we weren't saying, oh my God. I said, I think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't know yet. He was a rookie. Things happen. And what they've done, if you don't want to be honest, that's fine. Take yourself out of the equation. But anybody who can step back and look at this, to this point, they have severely undermined this quarterback to the point where he's trying to find his confidence. And and that happens sometimes, but now is the time for these coaches to get it right and figure it out. Now, do we have confidence in that? And I'm sure we'll talk about some of that stuff in a second. I have my doubts, but one last thing on this. The 3 series were a joke the other night. That wasn't enough work. They were making progress. He was making progress. Then he got yanked. And, the first series, penalties. Dante Scarnecchia went on radio the other day, said the first 2 series, there's penalties, there's this and that all over the place. Couldn't get in a rhythm. They finally get in a rhythm. Yeah, he threw a bad interception. Happens. But he didn't have enough time, 6 pass attempts to knock off the rust. And that makes it even worse going into this week that, at least if he had another series, maybe puts together a scoring drive. Now he's feeling good. The team's feeling good. Now both quarterbacks have no confidence.
Just don't know what the hell was going on. And at halftime, apparently Bill told Lisa Salters, no, we're going to play both quarterbacks. What the hell is going on? If you're going to play both quarterbacks, then why not put Mac in the game to start the third quarter? Again, after getting maybe some treatment on the ankle and he's kind of cleared his head a little bit. And you go back with Mac and you say, all right, we're going to give this a shot. You know why they didn't go back to Mac? Because Bailey Zappe led 2 touchdown drives, which really had nothing to do, with all due respect, to Bailey freaking Zappe. I was so tired of listening to that crowd. Those people pissed me off beyond any imaginable extent. The fact that Mac Jones, who was and again, I'm not telling you he's incredible. I'm not telling you he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. This guy had a good rookie season, as Greg said. And when you were leaving from last season, what was the biggest issue? We weren't talking about, Mac Jones is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. We were talking about that defense getting their asses handed to them collectively by the Bills. They couldn't force the Bills to punt. Nobody was worried about Mac Jones when the season ended last year. Now, all of a sudden, because he's been set up to fail by this coaching staff, and Bailey Zappe has 2 good games against crap defenses with an offense that's been tailored perfect for him. All of a sudden now, it takes 1 series for some of these fans to be chanting for Bailey Zappe. Those fans need to check themselves off at the door, because give me a break. You're not going to sit there and give Bailey Zappe credit when he's got Jacoby Myers wide ass open and he almost misses him. Myers has to make a ridiculous turnaround, diving catch, get up off the ground, and dive for the goal line for what should have been a walk-in touchdown. And those people who are still pumping the tires of Bailey Zappe would have been yelling about Mac Jones saying, yeah, he was wide open, but Mac almost missed him. What are we doing here? The fact that you had Ramondre Stevenson catch a wheel route wide open out of the backfield, his first pass, congratulations. The fact that that they had 2 good drives because Devontae Parker decided to once again make a contested catch, which has been fantastic, and you threw it up against double coverage, and the guy made a ridiculous play. Awesome. Bailey Zappe didn't come up with the interception. Bailey Zappe didn't make that catch that Parker made. Bailey Zappe didn't blow coverage like Chicago did. And in the second half, we saw what happened when Bailey Zappe plays a good defense. He turned into a pumpkin. He's 6 foot tall. Chicago realized it and said, all we got to do is stay at the line of scrimmage and put our hands up, and this dude's not going to be able to find anybody consistently. So all of the people that were yelling for Zappe in the first half, I hope you accomplished your goal. And whatever Bill Belichick was doing, I hope he accomplished his goal, because what he did was he turned Zappe back into a pumpkin. He did not give Mac Jones enough reps to be ready for this weekend in a big divisional game on the road. He completely undermined Mac Jones as QB1, which he's done since the summertime. You tell me one positive that comes out of how they've handled this for the last week. If somebody can give me one single solitary positive, then I'll give them an applause. I'll stand up and I'll give you a standing ovation. I'll give you a standing ovation if you can give me one positive. And look, I've given Belichick again the benefit of the doubt. I have, but I'm telling you right now, here is the facts. Okay, since Tom Brady left, and I'm not telling you Bill Belichick is not one of the greatest of all time. He is. But since Tom Brady left Bill Belichick, they are 20-20. They're a 500 team over a 40-game sample size, okay? They are 4-8 in their last 12 games. And if you think that's Mac's fault, in 5 of those 12 games, they've given up at least 30 points. Here's where I'm at. And I am not somebody that's been going crazy, and Greg knows this. Some would say I defend Belichick too much. Here's where I'm at. If this team finishes with less than 7 wins, to me, everything is on the table. If you can't win 7 games this year with Bill Belichick, everything is on the table. You're below 500 over a long enough sample size. If you get to 7 to 8 wins, it's, hey, Bill, you best contend next year or you're out. And I don't think Robert Kraft would listen to this and say I'm wrong. That's where we're at with Bill Belichick. And they have to get this back on the rails with Mac Jones because it is completely a train wreck. They have to get it back on the rails. And if they fail to do so, that is on Bill Belichick. We give him credit for everything that he did in building the teams, but you also have to criticize him when he looks completely incompetent dealing with a situation as crucial as this one. We've got to look it in the face and we've got to say it is what it is. This was a pig. Let's not put lipstick on the pig. It's a pig. And so hopefully moving forward the rest of the year, starting on Sunday, they give Mac Jones a legitimate chance to prove to people that he's a good NFL quarterback like he did in his rookie season. And it would help if Trent Brown, his left tackle, was in a puddle on Monday night in the first 2 drives. Guy had 3 flags on him in the first 5 or 6 minutes of that game. Is that on Mac Jones? All of a sudden, nobody else is accountable. It's all on Mac. All right, I'm done.
Great stuff. And we will leave it there. And I will tell you about Athletic Greens. We will come back and talk to you about some of the discussion about making Mac Jones the best player that he can be after I tell you about Athletic Greens. Because I started taking AG1 because I wanted to make sure I was getting all the vitamins and nutritional supplements I needed in one place. Now I've been on it for 3.5 months and I love it. It doesn't taste like it's super healthy, has a mild tropical taste, a little minty, and I actually look forward to it each morning. So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things you're looking for. I take it first thing in the morning. It's now part of my routine, and I'd be lost without it. I love how it contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Bedard. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Bedard to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. So, Nick, to sort of illustrate, and we're on the same wavelength as far as this. Like, basically, where I'm at on this, and I was after watching this game. Bill needs to get Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, and Mac Jones in a room, and he needs to lay down the law. He needs to back a guy. It's either Mac or his coaches. And if it looks like it's Mac for this week, but Bill needs to go tell his coaches, he's like, I don't care what you guys have been doing. I don't care about the summer. I don't care about any hurt feelings or whatever. You guys need to run whatever Mac wants to run. Stop with this bull crap. It obviously isn't working for him, hasn't worked for him. Put together what he wants to run. All right, period, end of discussion. And, because when you look at things, you can't help but when you watch this team on film, and I don't really care. This is obviously it's gotten misstrued. It will get misstrued. People will take it out of context, whatever. I'm just asking the question because it looks like to me on film that, and some of the numbers bear it out, that they kind of run 2 different offenses with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappe. I memean, they come out, Mac Jones, look, health could have been part of it. Mac could have, maybe they didn't want him under center, too much stress on the ankle. I don't know. 2 days later, he's healed. So I don't know why that would have been a big issue. And he seemed to run fine. When you watch this team on film, they come out shotgun 11 personnel with Mac Jones. They don't go under center a lot. They don't run a whole lot of play action. With Bailey Zappe, like 30% of his dropbacks are off of play action. About 20% are sort of screens. Half of his passes are deceptive. This is sort of until the game got out of whack last week. You can, if you want to take the whole game, the numbers there, of course the numbers are going to look different because they fell behind and they had to throw every down when Zappe was in. But the type of play action that they're running is just, it looks different on film. And it's not, I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying there's something going on, but when you watch it on film, it seems like there's something going on. I don't know. And it's not just me. Guys who watch the film as well, guys who have a lot more experience than me at this, who actually played the position in the NFL, have been in the room. Dan Orlovsky says, I will challenge the Patriots. Run the same offense you've run with Bailey Zappe for Mac Jones. Don't change just because Mac Jones is in there. Chris Sims was even stronger. On his Unbuttoned podcast, Week 7 film review, I suggest you go over there, listen to the section on the Bears offense against the Patriots defense and also the Patriots offense. It's really good. I agree with everything he says. He said there's something going on in New England. He's pissed them off, means Mac Jones and Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. It's a real thing. He said, I've heard it. Florio's heard it. He's pissed them off. Whether he talks shit about them to the Crafts or Belichick, there's an issue there. There's part of me that is like, oh, they called those plays for Mac? Then they put Zappe in and called those? Were they setting it up for failure? I mean, God, we're asking the question, and we'll ask the question. Matt Patricia's talking on Friday. I don't know exactly what question I'll ask Matt Patricia, but it'll be something on the lines of, I want to know, where does he think he's factored into Mac Jones, not playing well? And we don't have a ton of time, but I want to show the people what I'm talking about a little bit here, as far as the different types of play action. Okay. So this is Mac's second play. They do run play action. They get under center. Great. The problem is that there's a false start on Trent Brown, which ruins the play. I think this is the play. Or no, there's an offsetting penalty. So they run it. Let's just contrast they run short motion, could alert to the crack toss. The question is, do the linebackers fall for it? Nope. Okay. And Mac misses his throw high to the bottom to Devontae Parker. Okay. He missed the throw. It's there. It was his first throw of the game. Dak Prescott did the same thing coming back for the Cowboys. Now let's go ahead to, and by the way, when Mac took off running in this game, guys weren't open. It wasn't him panicking or anything like that. Let's go to his next to last throw. Okay, I think this is it. So they run play. By the way, the first play action was on 2nd and 10, not 1st and 10 or anything like that. They will run play action. The best play action plays are tied to some sort of run action. You've set it up earlier in the game. You've pulled a guard. Patriots used to do this all the time. It was their bread and butter. Pull a guard running. Then all of a sudden, boom, I'm going to pull it back. Rob Gronkowski on a slant over the middle. Bang action. Here's their play action. There's no run action on this play. The linebacker in the middle of the field, the Bears are in Tampa 2. Okay, 2 deep safeties. The corners are going to be short. This middle linebacker doesn't even wait for the play fake. On video, we're showing you right now that Mac Jones is still play faking, but the middle linebacker has already turned to Hunter Henry. Mac is looking there. He wants to go there. Now, he makes a misread on this play. The middle linebacker hasn't played. Jacoby Myers at the bottom of the screen is coming open, and the safety has his hips to the middle of the field. He should have thrown to Jacoby Myers. That was the read. It was a bad read. He checks it down to Damian Harris, who drops it. All right. It should have been, I think, 3rd and short at that point. Okay. So that's his 15th play. That was 1st and 10. That was his 15th play. Okay. He's going to throw the pick on the next play. Bailey Zappe's first play. Everyone runs little hitches. Very safe. There's none of this for Mac. You don't see any of this for Mac. Okay. We're going to go to Zappe's So we're going to go to Zappe's fourth play. Okay. Hunter Henry goes in motion. Remember what I told you about run action and play action. Okay. Hunter Henry goes in motion. Now, Jacoby Myers is going to come in short motion at the bottom of the screen. Okay. That's run action, alert, crack toss. The Patriots run it all the time with Myers, not as much with Devontae Parker. They sort of faked it with Devontae Parker. And so the linebacker was looking at Jacoby Myers. He's thinking to himself, they could toss it outside here. And Myers would crack down on the end. Then they run play action. Hunter Henry comes across the motion like he is going to run block. But instead, he pass blocks. Now look at the linebackers reacting to all this. They have screamed into the line to the point where they are even with Cole Strange. Now Jacoby Myers is sneaking through. So the Patriots have run dual run action on this play fake, which leads to Jacoby Myers being wide open. It busts the coverage. Zappe throws it behind him. Myers turns inside. Yeah, it was a crappy throw. It works. It's a touchdown. Okay? So Mac Jones gets on his last play action, his only real one that wasn't blown dead because of penalty, gets no run action, he gets no run action. Bailey Zappe gets double run action. And wouldn't you know, guy's wide open. His next play, here comes Jonnu Smith back into, now you have to alert also for a run here with trips to the right. Oftentimes the Patriots toss this out. Guess what? Play action again. Deep shot. And this is the Devontae Parker play, which great catch by him. So Bailey Zappe has played 5 plays. He's gotten 2 really good play action plays. And the only thing that I just want to ask the question is, why did Mac Jones get that play action? Why did Bailey Zappe get the tricked up play action? I'm not saying there's anything sinister going on, but I'm just asking the question, and at least that on film. I don't think, Nick, call me crazy. Do you think it's crazy to look at that and wonder? And I called an offensive coordinator yesterday morning just to be like, hey, I've been behind the scenes with the Texans, but refresh my memory. As a play caller, their play sheets are divided up into certain situations. Drive starters, 3rd and short, 2nd and long, all this stuff. You have 5, 8 plays in there. And I said, in certain categories, do you have certain plays in that game plan, scheme plays in that game that you have starred or highlighted where you're like, this is my best one. This is my tricked out one that's going to work, that I think is going to work best against this team. And he said, absolutely. I go into every game with about 8 to 15 plays that I said, I don't give a crap what the score is, what's going on. I love these plays. I'm not getting on the bus after this game until I call these plays. And I'm sorry, I don't know how you can look at those 2 run action plays, those 2 play action plays, and think that Mac Jones got the better one and Bailey Zappe got the crappy one. I think it's in reverse. I'm not saying there's anything sinister, but I think the question has to be asked.
I do too. I agree with you. The question does have to be asked. And Patricia, is he going to give you a good answer? Probably not. He'll probably give you some crapola, but it absolutely needs to be asked. All right, quickly, just any thoughts on the Patriots defense against the Bears? Because again, it's like a bad dream. I don't know how many times you and I and others, we're not 2 rocket scientists. I don't know how many times we've discussed, hey, Patriots need some athleticism on the second level. They need to figure out how to defend mobile quarterbacks. Maybe you would look back at the playoff game and the game before that against the Buffalo Bills, where Josh Allen absolutely tore you apart. And yeah, you took a swing at Mac Wilson, who is athletic, but he plays like a chicken with his head cut off. They did not address the linebacker position in the draft. They told us, oh, no, wait, Cam McGrone's coming right around that corner. Yep, that corner is nowhere to be seen. Cam is MIA. Here we are again with a mobile quarterback ripping. This goes back to Mitchell Trubisky with the Bears years ago. Here's another mobile quarterback destroying this defense.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that I thought it was like, and Chris Sims even talked about this. He said that he made some sort of joke about like how slow the Patriots looked and about how this is 3 years running. I mean, I don't know how anybody could look at this game and say like, oh, well, they're in a better place to have to defend the Chiefs and the Bills of the world. I thought they got way too cute. I think that overall they completely underestimated the Bills and thought there was really no shot that if they stopped the run, I thought they put way too much into stopping the run and didn't think much about their coverage. I thought they thought Justin Fields, there's no way this guy is going to complete any balls on us, even if he has wide open guys. He's not going to do it. Guess what? He did it. And like there were some really bad calls in the game. The 25-yard touchdown on the little screen where they score untouched. Steve Belichick got completely pantsed on that play. I mean, the Bears were like, you know, the Patriots love to, in the red zone, go all out blitz because they want to try to knock you out of the field goal range or whatever. They were just like, come to Papa. And they had the perfect play call and the Patriots weren't even close. It was borderline embarrassing. Look, I think that the Patriots, you know, if they can, if a team is one dimensional, I think they're okay. As soon as a team shows that they can do both, and especially if they have a mobile quarterback, man, look out. I don't think that it's how can anybody look at this and say they've improved? I just think that's a tough go.
It's insane because when you look at some of the best teams in the AFC, you hit it. Mobile quarterbacks, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson. It's like Justin Herbert's got a little mobility to him. If the Chargers could get out of their own way, you know, it's like one of those things where it's amazing to me that you are Bill Belichick and you're looking at the cream of the crop, the teams that you have to beat to get to your ultimate goal, who have mobile quarterbacks, and you have been unable to figure out how to limit those kinds of quarterbacks for 3 or 4 years. It's crazy to me. All right, so Jets, Patriots. At the Jets this game, Patriots are favored by 1.5. I said it last week. We puffed our chests out being 6-0. It was going to come back to bite us, and it bit us in tremendous fashion. But here we are, still 6-1. Patriots favored by 1.5. Greg, what are you thinking about this game?
Look, I haven't dug into the Jets film. I know they're good on defense. I'm more worried about their defense. They just suffered 2 big offensive injuries. Breece Hall, who is probably their best weapon. The running back is down for the season. Elijah Vera Tucker, their best offensive lineman, is down. The Patriots will probably be down David Andrews after the blindside shot the other night. So maybe that evens itself out. I don't know. I like the Patriots in this bounce back spot. I can't see the season being over already with this team. I like Mac in a corner and given more space. I think he would have been fine the other night if he was given at least the first half to go. 3 series. That was a joke what they did to him. And anytime he's faced adversity, he's done really well with it. So I'm probably going to go with the Patriots, you know, winning this game. Probably, I think it'll be close. 3 to 7 points. But you also need to acknowledge that the Jets, outside of Aaron Rodgers, have beaten nobody at quarterback. We say the same thing about the Patriots. We have to say it about the Jets. I mean, even last week, Brett Rippon, and they went, I think it was Skylar Thompson with the Dolphins or whoever that guy is. And it's been backup city. Rodgers was the only guy they dominated. Everybody but the Patriots have dominated the Packers offense and Aaron Rodgers. So that's no crowning achievement for them either. So I like the Patriots rebounding here. I think they're going to play I think the offensive guys are going to play their best for Mac, and let's go.
And the Jets did make a trade for the Jaguars running back Robinson. Yeah. So he might get some snaps, but you know, I tend to agree with you. This game's going to be mostly on Zach Wilson. And I don't think Zach is that kind of quarterback that gives the Patriots consistent trouble. Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete, but he's prone to make some mistakes. He has not necessarily played great this year coming back from his injury. So this is going to be all Zach Wilson versus Mac Jones. I hope that the Patriots offensive staff puts things together here and the offensive line keeps the penalties down and they give Mac the best chance to actually operate an offense that can get down the field and score at least some points. But I tend to agree with you on this game. I think it's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if it's ugly. You know, this could be 20-17 territory. But I do think the Patriots bounce back. And I think out of all the weeks to expect Matt Patricia, the offensive staff, and Bill Belichick to kind of put this together for Mac Jones, I wouldn't be surprised if it's this week, because I could see Belichick hearing all the criticism. He knows what he's been asked at these press conferences. He's invited a lot of this on himself, but I could see him saying to himself, all right, yeah, let's show them. All right, I don't know what I'm doing. We don't know what we're doing. Okay, well, let's prove all of them wrong. And hopefully that's the attitude. And hopefully they go back to some of the things that we've talked about fundamentally that will help Mac Jones be a better quarterback. Hopefully. BSJ member question of the day, Greg, $39.99 on the annual plan, all the great sports content for Boston sports as you know it. What's the question today, Greg?
So Brian asked a question about Damian Harris, rumors about him being available via trade. Let's just use this opportunity to sort of address the trade deadline, because probably by the time we tape, things could be moving. Look, Patriots that I think are available, Isaiah Wynn, Nelson Aguilar, Damian Harris. There's a couple other guys. Anybody on your mind that could be available? I was just looking at guys who are in contract years. I mean, one thought I had, I don't know what you think about it. I mean, I don't want him to go anywhere but do they think they can sign him to a contract extension? Jacoby Myers is in his deal. Tom Brady needs help. Him and Brady didn't have the greatest relationship here, but he's a different player now. Kendrick Bourne is in a contract year. I think those guys are all possible. I think Damian Harris is possible. I think they would love to get rid of Isaiah Wynn. I just don't think anybody's going to take on that contract. There's still like $5+ million on there. And as far as the Patriots getting somebody, I'm in Shaq Thompson from the Panthers. Bring me a real athletic linebacker on this team, not these fake people who can't play. I know Shaq Thompson can play. You're going to need him. I think it showed you that the other night, that your linebackers, good luck against the Bills and other teams this year with what you have right now.
They had Jamie Collins out there off the scrap heap on Monday night. Well, hopefully it's better this Sunday. That's all we got for you. He's Greg. I'm Nick. It's the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Athletic Greens. We'll see what happens in this divisional matchup on Sunday. Of course, we'll be back early next week with our reaction. Until then, be good, be safe, and be healthy.